Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. I want to welcome you to the show. So today, my friends, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about single fathers. Yes, that's right. We're going to talk about the other side of the coin. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to unmask the myths around single fatherhood. We're going to discuss some real stories and impact. We're going to have some insight shown. We're going to bring in some good old-fashioned data to back up the claims that I will make throughout this show. We're going to bring up the resources in the community aspect of single fatherhood. And then lastly, I want to empower the single dads who may be listening, or the prospective single dads who are listening to the show. Because let me tell you something. There are a lot of single mothers out here. And of course, there are a couple dudes who will wash their hands and walk away. But here's the thing. Not all those men are bad. That's number one. Because here's the truth that you haven't been told. Oh, and don't worry. I'm going to bring up some data. So just in case you're about to get mad, you're about to say, oh, this dude is bitter. He hurt. He dusty. He dirty. He don't know what he's talking about. Oh, no. Oh, no, my friends. Trust me. I came ready to roll. So first thing, unmasking the myths. So first of all, we need to debunk a couple of things. Number one, yes, single fathers do actually exist. This is a fact. But here's another fact you may not realize. Single fathers, when compared to single mothers, there's not a whole lot of good comparisons. In fact, many school shooters are byproducts of broken homes. According to fixedfamilycourts.com, says single mother homes. Here's what we're going to talk about. School shootings have been increasing, unfortunately, and there's a strong probability that there has been a product of single parent homes that are also fatherless, the result of a failed social experiment by the beloved family court system. That's, yes, my friends. Now, for those of you who think that the dude just knocks up the woman and walks away, I don't know what to tell you. You've been living on an alternate universe. That is normie crap. That does not happen that happens in a very, very minimal number of cases. That's on the level of saying that abortion should be legal because of grape and incestuousness, which is just a 1% of the 1% to justify 100%, which is just laughable. You want to listen to some single mother statistics, my friends? Here they are. 37.8% of single mothers are divorced, 41% have never been married, and only 6.5% are widows. Now, out of those single mothers who are divorced, last time I checked, about 80% of divorces are filed by women. Which is why when I say that the myths behind single fatherhood need to be debunked, that's why we're talking about it today. Because the single mother rate is out of control, mostly by their own hand. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but it's just unfortunate truth. The strongest predictor of whether a person will end up in prison is whether or not they were raised by a single parent. Most likely a single mother. Because single fathers have more income, they have more rules, and their kids statistically do better. The best statistically is two parents. But if you have a two-parent household, the single father does exponentially better than the single mother. This is just a fact of reality. 70% in 1996, so not super recent, but somewhat, 70% of inmates in state juvie detention centers serving long sentences were raised by single mothers. 72% of juvenile deleters and 60% of rapists came from single mother households. Uh-oh. Growing up without a father could permanently alter the structure of the human brain and produce children who are more aggressive and angry. Have you ever heard recently that men are aggressive, they're angry, and blah, 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 blah? My friends, this is false. Second, in those who are in the cases where that is true, it is not because the father is to blame, it's because the mother alienated him from the child. Alienated the child from the father and the father from the child, which is why I praise single fathers. Most single fathers only get custody because either A, the mama's in jail, or B, they got a judge who wasn't going along with the program, because you can't criticize mothers most of the time these days. It's very frowned upon. Very frowned upon. Well, my friends, let's go back to the numbers, because numbers don't lie, in my opinion, unless the people who are getting them lie. Let's go to child support statistics. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, first of all, child support statistics should be called broke mama support or hoe support, but you know what? That's okay. We'll go with the program. We'll pretend like the money's being spent on the child and not the mother. Let's go down the list, shall we? 84% of child support providers are men. 84%. 60% of child support provides for one child, 30% for two, and then 10% for three or more children. Oh my goodness, wow. Says almost 50% of people who make child support payments are younger than 40? Oh man. Yo, people need to develop some salami discipline. This is crazy. Gentlemen, please, I beg you, develop some discipline with your Johnson, please. Because otherwise you'll end up like this 50%. This is disgusting. Bro, and it gets worse. The median income for a provider of child support, which we just said that almost 50% are younger than 40, the median income for child support providers is $42K. Who is barely getting by on $42K and has kids? Dude, if you don't make above $80,000 a year, you should not be dating, in my opinion. You shouldn't. Why? Because you're broke. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to move in someone else who's also broke? Oh, and your argument is what? We're going to build wealth together? No. In fact, that's not how that works. No, not really. It takes a special kind of person to do that, and not many of them are left. Let's get back to the data, shall we? 76% of child support payments are due to court orders. Oh, the family court mafia, by the way, is about as bad as Don Corleone, in my estimation. But there are real stories out here. I've seen them. And the single fathers usually have maids. They have childcare providers if they need it. But they're roughing it, sure, but they make it look really easy compared to the mothers, which is why I advocate for single fatherhood over single motherhood. You can look at the single mother rate. The mother can be on drugs. She could be addicted to the coca or to the bottle, and she'll still keep custody of the kids. The court will still give her custody over you, even though you're doing nothing wrong as a man. But some people's personal journeys out here that I see on social media, it's beautiful that they put their kids first and not their own bull crap. Let's look at the insights. We're looking at it with the data, but this is what I'm talking about. The data from the psychologists and the psychiatrists are often misleading, because what they'll do is they'll talk about feelings. First of all, I want to discuss something that's going to probably be very controversial, but I'm going to do it anyway, because guess what? When do we not talk about things that are controversial on this show? And I'll touch on this, I think, tomorrow. I think I'll do a whole show about this tomorrow, but I'll give you a little teaser of it straight up. Women are not super emotionally intelligent using just statistical data and the common denominator. The proficiency of feeling emotion does not constitute intelligence. And I'm not making this up. If you have the ability to control your emotions, that is intelligence. The ability to just feel does not make you an expert. But the therapists, the psychologists, and the sociologists, and all the people with all the alphabet behind their name, they think they know more than me when it comes to this. So I guarantee you, I can look at dad just like them. And you know what's really interesting to me is single dads tend to really support each other. Single mothers tend to just kind of form communities that just drag themselves down even farther by enabling bad behavior, druggy behavior, degenerate behavior. And that's why I hope with this show today, I can empower single dads, because in the future, I see myself going through the surrogacy route. I don't ever see myself being married as a younger guy. I see myself becoming a surrogate dad, having my kids through surrogacy. Because that means I could provide more for them, number one. And number two, I get to avoid the bullshit as much as possible. But my friends, the reason why I'm not super supportive of modern marriage, I mean, there are marriages that can work. The problem is most of them statistically don't. I mean, all you gotta do is look at, I literally pulled up one of the first lawyer websites I found when researching divorce rates. And they even admit in here that they say using normie statistics, which are flawed to begin with because they measure the wrong things. They measure how many people are married in a year and how many people are divorced in a year. And then find the divorce rate, which is just ridiculous. They don't actually follow the couples. But even using that, they get 50%. It says almost 50% of all marriages in the United States will end in a divorce or a separation. 60% for second marriages, and 73% for third ones. First of all, if you're getting divorced, why would you get remarried? Why? All you're going to do is repeat the cycle all over again, statistically speaking. And for the highest crude divorce rates by country, the United States is fourth, according to the data that I'm seeing. Every 42 seconds in the United States of America, there is one divorce. That equates to 86 divorces per hour, 2,046 marriages per day, up to 746,971 divorces per year. Now, conversely, according to this data, it says every 16 seconds there is a marriage. Now, again, this is why the statistics around divorce are flawed, because they don't follow each divorce. They just take the divorce rate and the marriage rate and then find the divorce rate. That's not by person. And on top of that, let's bring this into the conversation. How many people, based on that 50% that stay married, how many of them are actually happily married? They're not roommates, they're not swingers, they're not cheating, they're not doing all this shameful behavior. Well, my friends, this is why I support single fatherhood. Because mothers bring a lot of the BS into things. Not all. There are some amazing mothers out here. Just as there are some deadbeat, horrible fathers, there are exceptions. The problem is, when you look at how single father kids end up versus single mothers, the comparison is night and day. But the problem is, there are more women than men, therefore they're the largest voting bloc. So therefore, that's why the people in power pander to them. I'm not making this up, by the way. Oh, you want to know that apparently they have it all worked out, which I don't agree with this list, but this is okay. 5 professions for the highest divorce rates. Oh boy, you ready for this? Number 1, dancers, aka strippers, aka thoughts, skeezers, OnlyFans, you name it. 2, bartender. 3, massage therapists. Oh boy, what are they at the jerky jerk place? Oh man. Gaming cage workers? What the hell is that? And then gaming service workers. What about nurses? What about the what am I thinking? I just lost it. Dang it. What is it? Oh, the flight attendants. Oh yeah. What do you think they do when they got free time all over the world in the country? Oh yeah. 5 professions they say with the lowest divorce rates. Oh boy. So men, if you don't want to be a single father, this is what they say you should be. A farmer. Oh boy. Podiatrist, clergy, optometrist, and then agricultural engineer. So in other words, oh boy. Oh, so they want to tell me that nurses are towards the bottom of the list. I don't like the bottom top of the list. No, they up much higher than that. Don't even try to lie to me. Oh boy, this list, man. Legislators have a low cheating rate. Yo, you know they lying. Yo, you know they lying, bro. That is not true. Again, we're also assuming that they're traditional. I mean, that they're not lying. Oh boy, divorce rate by ethnicity for women. Oh boy. Do I dare touch this? Sure. Why not? They're not super modern. They're going up to 2009. Oh boy. This actually ain't that bad. Oh my goodness. They say that the divorce rates for Asians is at the highest it goes is about 22%, 23%. Woof. For black women, 2009, ages 50 to 59, 50%. Oh boy. Oh man. White women, 41%. Asian women, about 20%. Hispanic, about 30%. I don't know if I agree with that. It's probably much higher. Oh, I could personally verify this one. The Air Force has the highest divorce rate amongst enlisted troops of any other military branch at 4.3%. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. It's nasty and bad. The divorce rate amongst Navy SEALs is over 90%. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, these people ain't loyal, man. Oh, this is a lie. This is a complete lie. Look at this crap. 1% of married same-sex couples get divorced per year. That's a lie. The lesbian divorce rate is super high. Super high. According to the figures in the United Kingdom, lesbian couples are nearly twice as likely to end in divorce than their male counterparts. What did I just say? Well, exactly what I just said. But my friends, this is why I support single fatherhood, because you get to avoid the garbage. Of course you're paying. You're paying by not being traditional. Of course you are. But I want to encourage that, because we're facing challenges with family dynamics. This is an unavoidable fact of reality. But the reason I support single fatherhood is because you avoid the BS as much as possible. And statistically speaking, men are just better at raising children. I hate to tell you that. I hate to put it in such blatant terms, but it's just the fact of reality. Is it untraditional? Yes. Is it an unavoidable fact of reality? Oh, you betcha. This is just an unavoidable. We are trailblazers, those of us who are advocating for single fatherhood. We're trailblazing. But that's exactly what we need in these trying times of turmoil and this topsy-turvy Alice in Wonderland world we're living in. Well, my friends, what do you have to say about all this? Think it's fair, foul? What do you want to say? What do you want to say about this? I want to hear what you have to say. You can hit me up. I wrote a whole book about advocating for single fatherhood, by the way. It's not the only thing, but it is definitely in there. Biblical Bachelor. You can check that out if you want to see in depth what I think about all this. Well, my friends, I want to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed it, consider following the show. I'm sure you know what to do. Follow the show, like the show, subscribe to the show. Well, my friends, I want to hear what you have to say. You could DM me on X at Sheep Get Sheared if you have any questions. Well, my friends, don't be afraid to be a trailblazer out here and go against the grain. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. I'm out of here. Peace.